Madeline, I sent you those links the other day to take a look at the recap, because 24 years and you still are bent on making my life ugly. It's no longer acceptable. It never was, but I was tolerable to it because I didn't want our children hurt any more than they were. Look at what you've done to them. Do you know how empty Gina and Rachel are? Not having a dad in their life to walk them down the aisle? You know how lonely Laura is because of what you've done to her? You're angry at her, but you're the one that set the benchmark. They were all great kids. Rachel was the worst because she always wanted to banter and get a piece of somebody. But I had a grip on that, and I was working through that with her. Look what you have done. You got arrested for domestic violence. You don't even recall. You were so out of it that day, I left after I did the maintenance of the house. You've forgotten. I was finishing the taxes that day. It was April 8th, 1999. I had that brand new business that was giving me, where in 3 to 5 years, we'd have been making 5-6 million annual in revenues. Our daughters would have been able to choose whatever they wanted to do in their life. Look how you ate that up. You accused me of being a child molester, laid on the mortgages. That's all petty change. Look what you've done to our daughters. 24 years without having a dad in their life. That's irreplaceable. Just as bad, 24 years of me not being able to be a dad. They were one of 3 dreams of me. You know little about me. But look at what you identified me in that paper to Gina. I'm angry all the time. So, my God, woman. Look at all your decisions, how they've harmed everyone. And you're still going at it 24 years later. I can't allow you to do that anymore. I don't care how you do it. You don't need to be a confessional, but you need to start fixing it with the girls. See, they don't even know you were that way for really a few years before that. Nobody knows when I went missing in action for about 3 days. I'd never done that before, never even contemplated that. You have no idea how vile and ugly you are emotionally to someone. You've got a mental drill where you're going to drill right through their teeth with no Novocaine. What entitles you to behave that way? Look all around you, the chaos. You took an everyday dad from our daughters. Do you ever recall me missing anything? Anything with them? No. Why? Because I learned from that lesson from my dad, who was so busy providing and protecting for us. He missed most of my greatness in baseball until I got hurt. Do you even know that I have league records that still stand today for strikeout records for left-handed pitchers? No, you don't. You can't do this anymore. You might think you can, but there's a reason why I posted this up on YouTube with links that are only between you and me. Don't you dare treat my daughters any longer like this. None. It has to stop. Fix it. I don't care if you lie and say, yeah, I've been looking at things. You need to fix it with your dad. He's a good man. You need to do that for them. It's shameful how you have done this, how you have alienated anybody. Laura with MS, and you haven't spent one holiday with her since 2011. You're angry at her for what you created. You need to stop that. She needs a mother with a heart. She needs someone who puts their arms around her and says, "Oh, honey, anything I can do?" To just sit there with her. But be positive. You've just gotten vile and ugly. And how could you let Rachel treat her sons the way she does? You know how Emerson and Silas love me. You know. Even Emerson, when he got hurt and bit by the dog when they got home, they called me and said, they put the sutures in. He says he needs to see Papa, 2 years old. He took road trips with me. Same with Cy. They'd come over and spend the weekend with me just about every weekend. When I had to go home, they go, "Oh." So you know what we did? We took surface streets home so we could have a few more minutes together goofing around. And all because of Rachel's temper. The first one, and then I'll shut up because you've got enough information to either say yes or no. Remember the fight you all got into at your place in Dallas, September 2nd, 2017? I'm 1,500 miles away. I've had nothing to do with it. What a surprise when I got a call from Josh. Then Rachel blames me, thinking I've took sides with Laura. Well, when I talked to Laura later, there was no side taken of me with Laura. I told her to apologize. What the heck are you doing, though, as a mother, to even let it get to that point? I'm sure that wasn't the first time. Rachel took the boys from me for 2 years, Madeline. And you saw that all along. The second go around was an anniversary of sorts. It was April 8th, 2021. Correlation to the day you went off the rails, so to speak, was April 8th, 1999. It was Easter Sunday. Rachel gets angry again, snaps. Usually it's alcohol related. You know how long it's been since I've been seeing the boys? April 8th, 2021. Do you have any idea the toxicity that is dumped on those boys by that behavior? You as a grandmother need to intercede. Recall when Emerson went through 3 schools and he was on his 4th one? What was it, 2018? 19? Rachel finally breaks down and calls me and says, "Can you pick him up?" I stopped what I was doing and I was on my way. Do you know when I picked him up, he stood and stared for a second, then recognized it was me, and then he cried out, "Papa!" And you know what that little guy did? He ran up and threw his arms around me, hugged me, and wouldn't let go. And tears are just flowing down his cheeks. How could you be so cruel? How could you be so cruel to let that happen? Because you want to know something? You're still conducting yourself as the field general of this team. If you don't get it by now by what I said, maybe I ought to just, never mind. I won't have a rash moment like you have, because you've had 24 years of it. Like I said, you took something from me I can't recover. It's like a death. 24 years you stole from me. You stole allowing me to be a dad when I was an everyday dad. You stole from my daughters having a dad in their life for 24 years. I think today is the day that you decide to start making amends. Absolutely. With all sincerity, man. Dawn.